And this honestly is one of my favorite topics because when it comes to marketing, I'm a big believer that I don't think you have to spend a whole lot of money, right? There's certainly some great paid tools out there, and many of the ones we're going to talk about today have a free version, a paid version, but the goal is for you to walk away with a couple tools, tips, and techniques that you can implement immediately into your business. There's not an app that can replace you. Now I say this because I am going to share a lot of great apps. I love a good app. You know, obviously with real estate's a relationship business, right? For most people, buying and selling a home is one of the biggest moments of their life. It's right up there with getting married, having kids, buying a home. And so, you know, I always say an app is never going to replace a handshake or high five, a hug, or that face-to-face. But when done right, it can make a huge difference in your business. But if you're not organized, right, then it feels like you're just spinning your wheels, right? One of the things that I feel like most agents that we work with are a little bit challenged with is time. You know, time is our most precious asset. So I want to share some of my favorite organizational tools that I live and die by. And I will say everything I share today, I'm not affiliated with, I'm not paid to talk about it. I just love it. I think they're great, and we use them in our business. So Asana and Monday.com, not sure if any of you are familiar with those two platforms. They are project management tools. They're both free. Again, there's free, there's a paid version. And we use them for all aspects of our business, but especially when it comes to social media, having a tool like Asana or Monday.com can really help to streamline what you're doing with content. Dropbox and Google Drive. Any of you use either Dropbox or Google Drive in your business right now? Okay, awesome. So both of them we use for lots of different ways, but especially for storage. Speaking of Google, I'm not affiliated with Google, and I know probably just enough about Google to get myself in trouble, but I do love all the free Google tools that are available, and this is just a handful of them, right? There's so many great Google tools available. A lot of our company operates with Google Drive, again, being able to share, being able to take content from our phones, our mobile devices, get them up into Google Drive to be able to share with other team members. Google Sheets. Google Sheets is sort of like, Google's Excel, so to speak. I am not necessarily a spreadsheet person, but I do love Google Sheets for our content calendar. We have mapped out, every year we sit down with our team and we map out our 12-month content calendar for the year ahead. Google Calendar as well. I'm a big Google Calendar girl. Got it all color-coded, right, which is helpful. Google My Business also, right? You guys know that, great for reviews. You can share some of your content up there on Google My Business. Lots of great stuff, totally free. Google Alerts. Are any of you setting up Google Alerts? Right, some of you? So Google Alerts is kind of a reputation management thing, if that makes sense. So what you can do is go into Google Alerts and set up an alert for anything you want. I have one for Katie Lance, and I have Katie Lance in quotes, which means anytime my name gets mentioned on the interwebs, anywhere, I get a notification that you've been mentioned. So if I get a Yelp review, a Google review, a Facebook post, somebody does this or that, I mentioned in a blog, whatever, I get an alert. And then of course, Google Analytics. I'll be the first to say Google Analytics is pretty complicated. There's a lot to look at, but just like anything else, the more you start to really educate yourself, if you have Google Analytics on your site, one of the biggest things I always look for in my Google Analytics is where's my traffic coming from? The other thing I'm going to say in this talk today is embrace new platforms. These are all free, right? Instagram Reels, Facebook Live, podcasting, YouTube, TikTok. And I think it's so important when we think about social media and marketing to come in with kind of an open mind. I really think for most agents and brokers, I don't think you have to be everywhere, but be somewhere where you want to be, where it's fun for you, where it's not a chore, and be where your clients are. And if you're not sure where your clients are, ask them. So gorgeous images count. I always think the best images are either images you take or professional photography, of course. And when it comes to stock photos, I used to not be a fan of stock photos. I'm not a fan of cheesy stock photos, right? We've all seen the terrible stock photos, like the realtor on the phone, we're not gonna do that. We've got some really good stock photo sites, Unsplash, Pixabay, Pexels. There's also stock video on some of these platforms also. This is a content grid we've updated over the years. The way a lot of agents and brokers use this is once it gets sent to you, print it out, it's a PDF, and when you're sitting down to post content, schedule content, you've got inspiration, right? You've got 30, 40, 50 ideas that you can run with. I love this quote. I wanted to share this. This is by author Adam Grant, who said, being a giver is not good for a 100-yard dash, but it's valuable in a marathon. What's free and doesn't cost anything? It's you being a giver. One of the things I talk to my kids about all the time is I say, boys, be a noticer in this world. Notice the world around you. right? Don't you find that so often we're like in our own little tunnel, we're doing our own little thing, and especially in the context of social media, if you're ever at a point where you're like, I'm not getting traction, I'm posting stuff and it's like no one's responding, or you just don't know what to do because you're overwhelmed, take a little bit of time and be a giver. Scroll through your feeds and think to yourself, who can I elevate today?